Once satisfied the items had been properly protected, she started directing them into the moving truck. Vets on the Go employed military veterans and provided the citizens of Seattle exceptional service for their local moving needs. Business was booming, and in order to keep it thriving, Cash had been ordered to keep his big mouth shut and let his muscles do his talking for him. Difficult, but he'd been adapting. Though Cash was the oldest, his younger brother Reed had taken their company from small and barely managing to a real success. So Cash did his best to keep his opinions to himself and packed, lifted, and moved. He took a step back and nearly fell on his ass when a skateboard slid out from underneath him. From the direction of the house, he heard snickering. "Those freaking kids!" Cash swore, wishing Mrs. Miller had listened the first 3 times Hector, Heidi, and Jordan had politely asked her to keep her twins safely out of the way and pen up the damn dog. He'd have said something, too, but it wouldn't have been polite or pleasant, so he'd let the others say it for him. Something licked his leg. Cash grimaced and glanced down at an adorable yellow lab that didn't understand the word no. "Crap, not you again." Helpless to stop himself, he leaned down to give the canine a pat behind the ears. The dog huffed and flopped to his back, exposing a fuzzy belly. "Sucker." Hector tried not to smile. "Please, I've seen you wrestling with this little guy twice today. Well, he's lovable, and I have a heart." Cash straightened and managed to avoid an unpleasant canine nip. He looked down at Hector, and a petty part of him liked looming over the guy. By a few inches, but still. "You're saying I don't have a heart?" "What you don't have is a concept of time," came the husky grouse from behind him. "Look, Cash, play with the dog later," Jordan ordered. "It's going to rain any minute now, and Judy Miller wants this stuff out of here today. She refuses to let us come back in the morning when it's supposed to be sunny to finish. I think being here is hard for her." "It's hard for me," he muttered, and nearly tripped over the skateboard again, which at least sent the dog racing away. Jordan placed her hands on her hips and scowled at him. "Yeah? Suck it up, princess, and quit playing around." She glanced at the skateboard and sniffed. He heard Hector snicker, but couldn't take his attention from Jordan. "Playing around? I nearly killed myself on that thing." "All the more reason to keep moving so we can get out of here in one piece." She cringed when the dog barked and peals of creepy childhood laughter echoed inside. "Poor Judy keeps breaking down in tears." She lowered her voice. "And you assholes keep sticking me with her. I feel for the woman, but her husband should really be the one here helping her. I feel like I'm making everything worse every time I tell her things will get better." Yet Jordan would do whatever she could to help Judy, because Jordan was like that. Caring and concerned, yet hard as nails when it came to dealing with him in the guise. A more detailed study revealed feminine curves under her shapeless Vets on the Go t-shirt. Something he shouldn't notice of a coworker. And besides, she clearly wasn't his type. Jordan didn't have blonde hair and huge breasts, wasn't too tall and didn't act all breathy, batting her eyelashes at him and making him believe he was a god. Which, in the sack, he sure the hell was. Still, something about her had been on his last goddamn nerve from day one. A sizzle of attraction, a spark whenever they accidentally touched. And she made him laugh with that huge attitude stuffed in a tiny, appealing package. He stared at her from under his lashes, pretending to be focused on the small but heavy butcher block island he'd just wrapped while subtly cataloging Jordan Fleming's finer assets. 5.5 feet tall, if that. Athletic, toned, with shaggy, shoulder-length black hair loosely tied back in a ponytail. The ex-army soldier acted like everyone's buddy and tolerated Cash more than most without getting her panties in a twist. He glanced up from her tanned, muscular legs showing under her knee-length shorts and saw more annoyance. He bit back a sigh. "Take a picture next time," she growled. "It'll last longer." Hector snickered. Cash blinked, pretending innocence. "I'm sorry, what?" "Jordan!" Judy Miller called, interrupting. She appeared in the doorway of the mudroom and smiled with relief. "Oh, there you are. Would you help me with Mom's jewelry?" Jordan pasted on a smile. "Sure thing. Just making sure we're almost ready."